how to scale your info business. You might be selling a high ticket course or a high ticket service and you want more leads, you want to lower your cost per lead, you want to increase your revenue. This is exactly how you can do it. This is step by step how to scale multiple high ticket info businesses, and we're going to show you a proven 4-phase system that I use to not only scale but scale profitably and efficiently, and most importantly with predictability to 2, 3, 4, 5, even 10k, 20k a day. So let's actually jump right into it. This is exactly again how to generate over 6,000 leads for just $1 each. The average ticket for a lead was like $50 LTV in the next 30 days, and it resulted in over 200k a month in revenue. Again, this is some of the results I just talked about that I have. 7,000 leads for just $2 each, 201 for just €3 each, 554 leads for just $2. A consulting client of mine was at my to scale 5k a day on his lead gen campaigns. And there's also high ticket services, info offers, and we generate over $500,000 for this. This is actually an e-commerce brand, 25% revenue up. But this the exact ad strategies, the 4-phase system that I teach, and that is actually working very well across the board. Multiple ad results. This stuff works, just to be clear. So we're gonna go exactly on everything now and the whole strategy. So let me actually jump in here. You can see multiple results, 300k, and we actually scaled to up to $1 million a month with a few clients here, as you can see. Consistently past 3, 4, 5k a day. So this is why am I even credible to actually teach you this, guys. And I strongly urge you to implement this stuff into your business. I guarantee you will see an improvement in your results. 3 key pillars to scale your ads, especially on like paid social. Specifically from an ad account perspective, obviously there are some other things outside of the ad account that we can do. Number one is testing volume. It's really surprising when I do audit like an account. I almost audit accounts every single week right now. They have this problem that the CPA is rising, but they're not running enough tests. So they're not running enough tests to have new winners to promote, scale. The CPA, I guarantee you, it would rise if you don't have new assets going into account. Creative fatigue was not really an issue pre-iOS 14, just due to the amount of data that Facebook had. But now we need to rotate creatives as fast as possible, especially as we're looking to scale past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5k a day in ad spend. Now, number 2, you need to have multiple scaling setups in the account itself. That multiple campaigns and strategies that we're going to touch in a bit. And 3, we need to have a consistent creative pipeline. One of the most important stuff that is a bit boring to talk about, but it's one of the most important stuff, so I'm just going to talk about it. To be clear, it's really having enough creatives and iterations of winning creatives in the pipeline so we can rotate every single week. Now, here's what to focus on from a high level standpoint. I just put it off for your ease to see what's important really. Number 1 is the offer. Having a high converting offer is the key to everything. So we're going to talk slightly about what really... By the way, if you want a more in-depth training exactly on the nitty-gritty on how you can set up your ads, how you can create high converting ads, SOPs, ad training, everything, click the links below. I have a few offers to you so you can actually scale your business to the next level. But thanks a lot for watching this video. It makes a good offer from a paid media standpoint, at least, to be profitable. But the number 2 is create high converting ads, having a repeatable creative testing system. We have a winning ad iteration and creative output system as well. We scale profitability, leveraging cost caps and cost control, as well as some high volume campaigns, high volume campaigns. And having the right funnel strategy is super key and important. People use outdated strategies. They still use webinars. Don't get me wrong, they do work sometimes, but people have become used to webinars and they have become less efficient and effective throughout the years. And 7, I have put it in brackets because we're not going to touch on it today, because obviously I don't have actual expertise on organic, how to get a viral content, although having the same framework as an ad that we're going to talk about is pretty much it. I'm just not going to talk about it today. But all the major ad platforms and platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, they're all competing right now for your attention. there's a good thing that TikTok really emerged in the last couple of years, because now everyone is forcing short-term content. Reach has become again a thing. You can get very good reach and viral content when it was very hard like 3 or 4 years ago. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you use organic. It's just free traffic that you can buy and enable to your offers basically. Now, number 1, pick the right offer. Only advertising products that are responsible for 70% of the revenue. If you have multiple products, make sure you have and using your hero products. Don't worry about the e-com thing here. Make sure if there may be subscription offer, I will just change this to be high ticket. I'm sorry for the mistake. I used to write, I was meant to write high ticket product, high ticket service, anything above $1,000, $2,000, like agency services, coaching services, anything like a hands-on offer maybe. And number 3 is a subscription focused product, so LTV play into it. You might have like a membership, or you might have like a recurring thing, like even annually, but it's recurring revenue. So we get the customer in, and then obviously we become profitable maybe in the back end. But one of the most profitable offers on paid social is to get high ticket, 1K and above. It's going to be the most profitable in the front end potentially. This is probably like a book a call funnel most of the time, where you're probably going to selling on the phone, high ticket thing. Again, the higher the better, because you're going to be profitable. Because even if you spend 1K to get maybe like one customer, you're still going to be profitable, because you're going to be charging 2, 3, 4, 5K for your offer. Another good funnel is low ticket to high ticket upsell. You need to have obviously a complementary way to graduate people from your low ticket offer to the high ticket thing. Obviously, the more offers and the more products, and we're going to talk about it in a bit, the better, because you can find your customers at a different levels of the journey, to master, the outcome that you are selling, and at different levels. So, someone might not be able to afford your high ticket thing, personalized, coaching stuff or whatever that is, but it might be okay with just spending like $100 a month for your membership. The more revenue you can squeeze with different offerings and products, appealing to different demographics of your audience, the better. Focusing on a few 2 or 3 key high ticket products, you can scale to 7 figures easily. Now, any industry, trial to subscription here. Again, subscription focused offers are really effective, just because you just need to sell the person one. It's much harder to get a customer in, either upsell or cross sell them, or have them in a recurring phase. So, know your numbers. I know it's pretty boring what I'm talking about here, but this is one of the most important stuff, guys, that nobody says, so I'm just gonna touch on it. You need to know your numbers, because otherwise you're never gonna scale, because you're not gonna have the clear kill points in the account itself to kill ads, make optimizations, and really optimize your offering and your business. Now, LTV divided by CAC is one of the most important. LTV to CAC ratio basically is one of the most important numbers. It's basically how much it's costing you to get a customer in, and what that customer in and what that customer actually worth for your business. So, for example, if you have an LTV or lifetime value or lifetime customer value, or in some other definition of like $100, and it costs you 20 to get them in, that's pretty good. You're profitable. You might not be profitable day one, but maybe after a few products that you upsell them on day 30, you might be just 80%. You made 80% of that. It depends on what you're offering in the front end. Both work. For example, if you have like a 7-day trial to subscription kind of offer, yeah, you probably won't expect to be profitable in those 7 days. But once people actually go charged and get billed, this is when you're going to see the ROAS. So that's a very important distinction here. Don't focus, for example, on ROAS on this kind of campaigns, because there's an LTV play into it. Now, again, if you're actually running like a low ticket info offer, like for example, like an info course, you teach, you show people how they're gonna paint or whatever, you're probably gonna get customers profitably in the front end, and there you can have like a more ROAS goal. Now, what's your acquisition targets? Again, it comes down to margins, how you price your things, stuff. but you need to have like a CPL or cost per qualified lead, what I like to have. Even if you have like a high ticket offer that you optimizing for leads, or even call funnels, and if you actually are optimizing for like purchases and getting your low ticket offer, you need to have like a certain CPA. Now, have an excellent product and offering selection. Again, how many products you have that you can add value to your customers is super important as you grow your business. Add more stuff that again can lead to and can appeal to different kind of demos, as I said. But yeah, having one main high ticket offer can get you to like 7 figures, or even more, to be honest. Now, contribution margin, again, this is like some business metrics, but I really think it's super important. That's why I mentioned it. You need to know your contribution margin, basically how much money gets in your bank account. Basically, this is the revenue divided by variable cost divided by ad spend. This is what your business will be judged in the end. So make sure to track that as close as possibly, because all the other obviously are leading to that. So we can optimize the bottom line basically. So creating high converting ads, one of the single most important things that you can do basically. I just want to start with customer research, because this is the most important thing. I know it's again boring. This is one of the single most important elements of having successful ad campaigns: scaling your ads, finding what your avatar wants, really appealing your messaging on your ads, and do the targeting with your ads and your ad copy itself. But if you don't know exactly what your customer needs and give to them instead of what you think it needs, is a whole other thing. Now, I'm gonna give you some practical stuff. And the TLDR of research is trying again to find out what your customers' problems are, how they're solving them in the market. I know you probably know kind of way, but I want you to take 2 hours, 3 hours, document it, go on reviews, testimonials, whatever you have, chat GPT, go on like YouTube comments. So I have here some very practical stuff, like identify and write down benefits of your product, problems that your avatar faces, solutions to your product, solutions that your product provides to the avatar, and write down your irresistible offer that makes you buying your product a no-brainer. Write down also your avatar interests, hobbies, solutions the avatar has tried but actually failed, avatar goals and challenges. Tie that outcome to your avatar. Like when to look at again, have multiple places you're gonna have to do that. Now, creative fundamentals here. One of the most important indicators of success again is your creative. One of the days where you could just throw like a quick, PNG into the account, and it would actually work. So your ads need to do 2 basic things on a fundamental level. They need to capture desired attention, and they need to create intent. These are 2 things you need to focus on with your ads. How are we gonna do that? You kind of break it down to the AIDA framework, basically attention, interest, desire, action. You build the attention, you build the interest and desire, and then you obviously have the action. Now there are different metrics that will measure each one of it. So for example, the attention, it will be the thumbs up ratio. Interest and desire will be probably click-through rate, and call to action, it will be a CVR and click-through rate in combination. Just to not bore you with a lot of stuff, I just want to focus on 3 key ads that I've seen time and time again work. So make sure you copy that. Don't go into testing whatever your competitor probably is doing, because your competitor probably is doing a lot more. It has advertised for a lot more. So make sure you focus first, I would say, on these 3 creatives, which is basically the feature static ad, a UGC kind of comment, user generated or demonstration kind of video, the brand demo, founder story, and going into the feature static, basically static that has one main benefit or unique selling points, basically that your business is all about, and is a clear, shows a compelling message that it will stop the scroll. As you can see, everything has a headline that we can obviously test the messaging, and it really simple and easy. That's why we go back to the research part. If you know what your customer will actually stop the scroll, this is how effective it can be. You can try some ask versus them, or like some offer-led creatives, or maybe just depicting what you're all about in the creative itself, depending on your product or service again. But again, it really needs to hit to the main pain points or massive desires. That's why the research module is super important. Now, UGC demo, I'm not gonna go into it because it would take a lot time, and you probably won't watch the whole video here. But the UGC user video is basically you either have someone sharing their experience or demonstrating your service. It might be, if you have like a course or high ticket coaching stuff, showing the transformation that the person has, maybe showing like a quick preview of the actual course or whatever it is inside the coaching course or whatever. It has to have a compelling direct response structure. It has a hook, a built-in trick, breaks resistance, and then has a call to action at the end. It needs to have a storyline that makes people to resonate and listen. Again, going back to the research part. Again, the brand demo, founder story, you're probably gonna have like a combination of maybe both or even one. It's demonstrating. It's not like a user-generated content, so it's not that native. It's more like a polish. So, for example, let me just preview this big ad. But again, more polished, not that user-generated. For example, the UGC can be just like a selfie video. But again, you show exactly what your service is about, and most of the time you are the one that basically explains that. So it's like a founder story in a sense. It resonates with your customer because you are basically the person that explains everything and why you create this service or whatever. I spent more than 10 million behind UGC alone and worked in some top class UGC agencies. So it's safe to say that these types that work time and time again. You can use a combination of all those. It doesn't have to be a separate one. For example, we have testimonial one, we have product demonstration, we have listicle, we have the unboxing one, we have the objection handling as well. And the winning script structure goes like this. We have the hook, the failed solution, or you agitate the pain point, we have the solution, the objection handle, and the call to action offer. How you can target with your creative and your ad copy, basically, because this will allow you to be much more efficient, and this is the single most important thing you need to do to scale. You need to expand your messaging. So we're gonna go back to marketing fundamentals here. I'm gonna show you like the Eugene Schwartz 5 Levels of Awareness. It's an amazing book. Make sure you read it if you want to. But the basis of it and the gist of it is, as we scale, we need to expand our messaging to appeal to different kind of segments of the audience. So, for example, if you're spending below, I would say 1K a day, you need to focus on the most aware product and price kind of demo. So you're gonna lead it with the benefits, because people know they have the problem, know that what's the solution pretty much out there. So you need to show that your product is much more effective at delivering that outcome for them. So then as we expand, we're gonna hit at different segments that don't really know both of these parts. So they might know they have a problem, but don't even know what's the solution there, or they might think is another solution. That's why these audiences are less converting, because we need to do a bit of educating at first. Buckle up, because we're gonna have a killer ad strategy in a few slides that does that. I put together this quick pyramid here so you can have a better look on how and what I'm saying, because I know a lot of stuff might go over your head at the moment, but just labeling in the account itself top of funnel doesn't mean that you're gonna target cold traffic. We need to not choose ad copy and messaging in a haphazard way, but actually have some intent. So as I said a couple slides ago, the bottom funnel and middle funnel, even if it's still cold traffic, but it's the warmest audience. So people who have the problem, they know there is a solution, they know probably the solution as well, and they just look for the best option. These are the people we want to target at first until we hit that 1K, maybe even more, depending on where you sit on the total addressable market. But as you can see here, I have some examples of copy and messaging. The middle funnel, bottom funnel, you can see is a lot of feature, discount heavy, mentioning, this testing system reduced CPA by 50% period, never deal with period cramps again with this device, we make claims, how is it better from the other competitors at the market. And obviously as we expand and scale, we want to hit some problem unaware segments. So low intent, low converting, still eating low protein breakfast, we need to do a little bit more education on it. Now I'm gonna go into the system. I know that was what you guys actually was waiting for, but for me it's super important to have all the foundation down, because otherwise this won't work. So there is a 4-phase system at its core. It uses single ad variable isolation and progresses into 4 phases. That's why I'm so confident that this is the best system because we know what's working. We're pushing more budget that we scale behind what's working. And in my opinion, guys, after like mentoring a lot of media buyers and train like, you know, and being in different setups with multiple 7 and 8 figures, the biggest thing is people don't really know what has worked or have any documentation on how to iterate, what has worked, what has not worked. So scale for me is easy once you've proven what is actually have worked. So the phase 1, phase 2 is heavy creative testing. We have the phase 1, which is message testing. This is a traffic campaign most of the time. Not most of the time. This is a traffic campaign that we use to gather a lot of data on different angles and especially on different variations. So once we have a winner, we go into the ad micro optimization process, which I'm going to be addressing in a couple of seconds. And then what we do basically is we test different headlines, different iterations, different hooks. So we throw that into a traffic campaign, so we don't pay Facebook, Google, TikTok a premium to test. And obviously there is a process there that goes into it. But phase 3 is when we initiate scaling with audience testing. We scale through secondary interest as well. Phase 4, we scale efficiently and profitably with cost caps and high volume campaigns as well. Now, this is the creative testing system overview. The phase 2, the setup that we like to use is either an ABO setup. So it's an ABO campaign. We have multiple ad groups. We have 3 ads, 9 times out of 10, and one ad group, and we test between ad groups different angles, different creators, different concepts. So the basic thing is we isolate each creative variable and we make hypotheses and we make progress on our test. So we want to, for example, a good test might be to test, let's say, I don't know, a sustainability angle versus like whatever, I can't think, but whatever, you get the gist. You test 2 different angles, for example. It can be weight loss, it can be, you know, collagen, focus, whatever that is, whatever your product is exactly. But we make hypotheses and we make progress. Now, my go-to method is a pocket theory testing. We have an ABO campaign again. The difference is under each ad set we have one ad but duplicated 2 times. So we isolate the creative variable in that kind of format. It's much more, it requires a bit more budget. That's why it might be best after you get the hang of it, of your account, and you be profitable and stuff, and you have some learnings. But it's much more clear on what has worked. We isolate each variable, and it's much easier to have control over our testing and not let Meta do its thing. The pocket theory and why we duplicate it 2 times is this is a measure. This is a way that will prevent Meta delivering our ad to segments of audience that maybe not convert. So it's common knowledge that Meta or TikTok or whatever platform will deliver the ad in different segments of the same audience. So it might deliver the ad on a feed placement in the morning in California, and on like a story placement or like an audience network, God forbid, in like in Kentucky at 12 a.m. So massive differences in CPMs, CPCs, whatever that is. So we need to make sure that this ad is a winning ad or it's not a winning ad, and we have in a sense a clear we are sure in a sense that this ad. So you can see I have put a couple of examples here, and you can see the massive differences in conversion rate, in basically complete payments, in purchases, in CPA, in CPMs, and CPCs. This is what I actually want to take a look at, but this is what I like to do. Now we're going to add macro optimization. Let's say that we have a winner, how we iterated. The number one mistake I see is people spend way too much on new creatives and not on iterating on the winners. And there is a process that we use, ad macro optimization. This is how we fix ad fatigue. We turn one winning ad into 50. Now, how we do that, I have an example here of a past client. And basically what we do is we manipulate, we change basically the ad based on a proven element and based on the elements that have the biggest impact on the performance. For example, if it's a video, it will be the hook, because this is what gets people to watch the ad. So this is the first thing I will change and test. But we only change the hook and we maintain all the other creatives the same, basically, just so we are sure, okay, we are work in progress. So in this example, this is static, so we have played around with headlines. Unfortunately, I just didn't pull the right examples for the headlines, but you can see I've manipulated other stuff. For example, it is the features, it is the frame, which is another very important stuff on the statics, like the actual photograph, the focal point of the asset. Because people will stop at this picture, and some people will actually stop on the sushi one. So very, very important. And we go back again to phase 1, then the winners will go into phase 2, and then we scale them. So as I said, here is the top level view of this, and we're going to scaling right now. Now we have two main ways to scale an account, which is vertically, so we increase budget on an ad set level by 20-30% every 2-3 days, and horizontally, so we add more ad groups or more campaigns even. But just a big caveat here, make sure you scale only if your revenue MER over a health of the account basically looks very good. This is the only way I scaled like 25, 30, 40k days. And there are some ways to scale which are outside the ad account as well, which is having multiple offers or SKUs and GEOs, like expanding into different countries and adding channels as well, maybe adding TikTok, maybe adding Pinterest or whatever that is. Now I'm gonna go into more specifics on how we go about it. The phase 3 audience testing, the main goal is to find a few winning audiences that are broad enough that we can scale into with winning ads. That's why we test with proven ads to unproven audiences. And this is the beginning of scaling. To be clear, you can go from phase 2 to phase 4 and just scale straight away. But phase 3 is an important factor because you can scale with multiple audiences, so you can see you can get a bit more aggressive afterwards. Big thing, protect ROI by killing underperforming ad sets early. Don't overspend on tests that won't work. And now into phase 4. Now, have 5 options for you guys that I use day to day, and they are maybe sorted in a way that is the less risky and requires less budget. So, single ad scaling, ABO, and manual bidding, just for transparency, are majority of my accounts and are the most consistent ones. The CBO scaling is not that I don't like it, it's more that it requires a lot more budget to get out of the earning phase on each ad set. It requires at least 3 audiences that are winning. So it's only deployed on like 5 to 10k day plus when I really want to be aggressive. So yeah, the most efficient will be the single ad scaling. So basically taking the ad from the phase 2, dupe it into phase 4 with higher budget, and you see how it does at scale, or at a high budget at least, not at scale. Then we have ABO scaling, the most consistent one out of all, hands down, where you have basically 2 or 3 winners, maybe more, 3 or 4 basically, on actual budget level. Again, we want to make sure we're hitting 50 conversions a week. And then we have the manual bidding, cost caps. I really like to use cost caps because it's one of the most efficient ways. And if you do this right and have a strategy, you're going to be profitable. And you don't really have to stress, about maybe meta overspending. There's a mix of both because obviously you can't get that good with delivery. But yeah, option 5 is dynamic creative testing, scaling, sorry. Basically we have one asset, proven creatives, proven headlines, proven copy. Again, requires a bit more budget. Protect our ROI by killing underperforming assets early. Find the best of the best, basically, and to scale it. Now, the most efficient ways to scale, again, as I said, is manual bidding, single ad scaling, and vertical scaling your winning testing ad sets. So when you have a few winners on phase 2 and your test campaign, whatever that is, you just vertically increase by 20% every 2-3 days. This is the most efficient ways. As you scale, or if you want to be more aggressive, you can add a few other stuff. Now, I want to talk about the mini webinar. This is a game changer one, because I see so many people just still, when they try to sell info, they still try to go with the webinar, and the webinar has become less and less effective throughout the years. People have get used to it, obviously, because we've been running for a while. But this has really outperformed the webinar every time. This the stuff. Big disclaimer: this is not my concept. I firstly took it from Jamie Haynes. So a lot of ad spend and results from this concept, and I have tested myself, my own clients, and my own occasions. So I slightly took it, just formatted my way, but this is the way. Now, basically what it is a short kind of webinar. It's very direct, it's very to the point, it works very well for high ticket stuff, because obviously high ticket people cannot wait 2 hours on a webinar. Like, not high ticket people, like rich people don't want to wait 2 hours, or nobody really want to wait like 2-3 hours on a webinar just to know you're gonna sell them. So it's very direct, it's usually around 24 slides, it leverages testimonial success stories, it goes through how it will be, investing and going and sign up for that coaching program, the whole thing, how it looks, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, the onboarding stuff, up to getting that dream outcome. Again, it's a very simple page. It has an application button that you can apply. It can even have the form, just not the button that you can apply in the same page. Then obviously you apply and you hop on a call. That's it. So that's the way. I'm not going to go into specifics on how you can set it up and what's exactly it, but I just want to throw it out there. Ad strategies, top ad strategies, it's the Hydra and the Flytrap ad strategy. Now, the Hydra will require a bit more, it's a bit more aggressive one, so you need to have a good sales team. So basically what we do is we leverage the in-app lead forms. So everyone like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever that is, they have like an in-platform lead form. We have a lead form with 2-3 questions, we qualify them, and then they become a lead. And then we have another page that we go into the mini webinar with a scheduler page. Now, the main thing is not to book a call. It's not the actual what this ad strategy is really judged on. It's really how much money we make. And I mean that because once we have and someone becomes the lead, the salespersons actually get notified basically, and they hammer the leads with follow-ups, with getting no calls. They screen them before going into call, and this gets all the people that wouldn't otherwise book a call and maybe have a few questions first. But again, it will require a bit more time from your salesperson. But what I've seen is basically people have time because they're not going to take scheduled calls all day. And the Venus Flytrap is an insane strategy. Again, Jeremy Haynes, big shout out, his strategy. I'm not going to just steal it. Again, the basic thing that we do in this strategy and why it works very well, it has different formats that I like to leverage as well, personally. But we frame people, especially when it's a high ticket product, people won't buy or won't become a lead, schedule that page straight out of the bat. We want to frame people of what our business is about, the testimonials that we have, the results that we have, by basically showing them content like the ones you are using on your Instagram feed or your Instagram profile or YouTube or Facebook, whatever that is. We're gonna basically just run some engagement campaigns, get it out there in front of our dear customers, and then we're gonna hammer them with direct response ads and say, oh, become a lead, become this, buy our product. But they will already know us, they're already gonna be framed that this is their program, because they're gonna be seeing all the testimonials, they're gonna be seeing everything. So as you can see, it makes a lot of sense. I guarantee you nobody does this still. So these are the main two. On the last slide, I just want to address a bit the creative pipeline cadence, because it's super important. Now it will require, it will depend basically on how much you're spending on the platform and a few other things. But if you're spending less than 10K a month, you're gonna look at least like 4 creative tests a week and one message test a week. And that, just to be clear, that is both iterations and new ads. So if you're above 10K and maybe like 10 to 30K, you look around 4 to 8 and 10 to 15, I would say, when it's going hard, and that means 4K a day plus. But a big caveat here again, the more creative tests you're doing, the more scale you're gonna see. With slide again, caveat that you might see a rise in CPA if you just throw a lot of creative tests and you're not really optimizing from the winning ad, as we discussed. So keep around those guidelines and find what's gonna be best for you. but if you get like around like 20% chance to have one winner, you should be looking at least 4 to 5 new assets going testing each week. So thanks a lot for watching this video. That was all it. Again, make sure you check the links below. I have a few offers. I really truly appreciate taking the time out of your day and watching this video, and make sure you implement. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Happy to address it.